5 minutes. Minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. Minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
Good evening and welcome to Monday Night on DJNTV. I'm John Young and I'll be your host tonight. And tonight we have the man behind a lot of the graphics that you see on DJNTV. We've got James DePalma. Jimmy, how you doing?
Good, man. Hanging in there.
Good, good. We haven't worked you too hard with all these different graphics and things that the people are seeing flying up at the beginning of the shows.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And I'm working on more.
Of course, we've got a lot of cool things out there we want to be sharing with folks and talking about, and all the different shows. Oh, just a lot of the cool things going on here. tonight is about graphic design. We're going to be hitting that. We're streaming out to Facebook and YouTube tonight, so if you have any questions or anything, the best spot to put those, it looks like the Facebook for me, is really lagging, so we're going to be following the YouTube. I'm going to put the link to the YouTube in the Facebook area there, so people can jump across if they want to. Yay, rah, rah. And we'll go from there. So, yeah. So tonight, I've asked Jimmy to go through and pick out some different things. We're going to talk about some of the graphic, some ideas and concepts behind designing logos and different things. If you're doing your own work on your signs, banners, what have you, just a little bit of some design elements that could be maybe done a little bit better, could be done differently, could be done, and yeah, we're going to look at some of those. So I've got to set up a shot yet here, Jimmy. This isn't my shot still isn't working. Yeah, you know how it is.
No, I wouldn't know at all.
How the computer things are going here.
Well, why you do that? Why don't I explain a few things?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Jimmy DePalma, in case you guys don't know a little bit more about me. Like Howie and Brian and all that, they know me really, really well. But not everybody in here probably knows my history or background. High school, I was a graphic arts major. Came out of there, went to work for Syracuse University, and out of there just worked my way through into broadcasting. Worked at NBC affiliate, a Fox affiliate, worked at an ABC affiliate, and a UPN affiliate. And besides doing the just graphic design, I did a lot of post-production, commercial editing, hands-on. I ran camera for newscasts.
Mm-hmm.
I did sports broadcasting. I used to work on those big, 50-foot production trucks as a Chiron operator, or what some people call the Fox box or whatever. And so I've done just about almost everything in graphics. Sign work, print work, you name it. So, and besides, I've been a DJ for 35 years.
There is that too.
So, yeah. So the best thing I can say that works for me is I don't have to pay for graphics. I get all mine for free. I don't have to call somebody and go, hey, I want to make a change. No, I just jump on my computer and whammo.
Well, let's kind of start from the computer side of it. What are some of the applications you're using when you're designing and creating, and for those who are new to that whole realm?
Mm-hmm. Primarily, I use Adobe Photoshop. There's some people that use InDesign. There's some people that use, Corel. There's you name it. There's plenty of software out there. But I find Photoshop works for me, and I've used some other stuff, especially when I was working in the working for the sign shops and print companies and things like that.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites, of course, because we run the local newspaper here, is when people are designing things in different programs. And when someone's designing a graphic ad for the newspaper and they design it in Word or Publisher or something you cringe at that one. And trust me, when Lori gets one of those across, I get to hear all sorts of colorful language from my lovely.
You want to know how I get around that? I print it up and rescan it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it's one of them things.
Okay, so we've got. I'm going to have to switch, Jimmy, the camera for you, and it's going to look weird for all of those of you who are watching. It's going to look very funky here for a second because it's going to do this like infinity.
It's
an infinity.
We call it video feedback. It's video feedback basically.
And I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to spot that video, and let's see, how is that going to. That's not going to work very well. If we go gallery view with that, and then what I'm going to do is, okay, just this, This is one of those things when we're trying to do multiple things on the same screen, gang. You get a lot of different. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to add one more shot, and then we'll be so ready to go. So you're running a Macintosh system completely, Jimmy, aren't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Total Mac. I got altogether 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 Macs.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah, and somebody trying to call me that doesn't know I'm on here.
Howie's probably calling you and say, "Hey, the
Yeah,
screen's
right.
doing this infinity loop. Quit it." There we go. That'll be good. That'll be close enough. That will be good.
Yeah, they'll give up eventually.
Okay, so Jimmy, you can see what's on the screen now and such.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So, yes, it takes a little bit to get some of these shots set up for you guys, but we want to make sure that Jimmy can see what we're going to be talking about or what we're going to be showing. Otherwise, it's really tough. We've done that with Ben Stowe a few times where he's trying to. I think that the photo is this. Now, this is our way around this, so Jimmy can see what you are seeing.
Well, remember, I have the folder, so all you got to tell me is
this is
the
going to
name
be.
of it.
This will be easier. This will be easier. So we want to go through and we're going to look at. I think you've got about 15 different logos and different things that you had picked out. So let's kind of dig into some of these a little bit. I'm going to move this up a little higher. Okay, well, he won't stay up higher. So first off, we've got a DJ logo here. I'm going to pull it up so I can see it better. Let's talk about some of the things that are good with it and some of the things that maybe could be done a little bit better.
It's very simplistic. You don't have to figure out what's going on there. All right. You can add just about any font with it. I tend to go with what we call a sans serif font. It's the one without the little edges, like on Times and other fonts like that.
And in this particular case, this is like a Helvetica, most likely.
Yeah.
And it would be that would be a serif or sans serif font, whereas a serif font is Times or anything that has where they go and they kind of thin out at the very ends of the font. So
the little tippy things,
which is very common.
They were originally designed that way, so when they were chiseling, they could make a clean edge.
Oh,
because they were originally all. If you notice, like with all the Roman, that's where it comes from. It was from Roman architecture.
Sure. Okay.
When they would chisel, they'd make a line, and they'd end it that way. Because what would happen is, as they were trying to do the corner, it would chip out a little bit, leave a little. Yeah.
Or you needed to be able to start and get into it. Yeah, either way. Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I hadn't made that connection, but that does make sense.
Yeah.
So we've got a nice clean text on this one, which is, I think, one of the issues that sometimes we have is we try to get too fancy. We have 5,000 fonts on our computer, and we want to try to use them all.
Well, here's the main one. Whatever you're doing, do not use more than 3 families of font on whatever your document is. I mean, this is not supposed to look like a ransom note. It's supposed to be advertising. All right. So the biggest thing when desktop publishing came out, everybody's like, I got all these fonts. So I'm going to use every one of them on there. Each line's going to be a different style. No.
Did you buy fonts back when you had to pay like $69 for a font? You might remember those days. You probably didn't do it like I did, but yes, at one time.
Listen, I used the Croy lettering machine and Letraset typesetting, which is you used to have to burnish it down. Yeah. Letter by letter. Yeah. Yeah. I used the old CompuGraph and the AM Veritype, where there was an optical disc that would focus the letter onto photo paper and expose it to light, and then it would do that, in a line and create your word or your text or your display type. Then you'd process it, take it out of the machine, bring it over to the photo processor with photochemicals and all that. You'd run it through that, and it washed it and stabilized it and put it out, and you had this clammy, wet piece of film that you had to let dry. Then you would take it and wax the back of it, and then cut the pieces out and align them using, it was archaic.
Yeah, compared to what it is today.
And I'm left-handed. So whenever I work, I drag my hand through my work. I was a messy graphic designer. I was always, these fingers would always get like whatever, ink you name it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, so let's get back to our first logo here. One of the things that stands out with me is obviously it speaks that this person, we know that it's a DJ, even without the text. And that's one of the things that with a logo, you want it to be, something somewhat eye-catching, memorable. And we talk, when I'm talking to marketing and small businesses, you want a logo that kind of says what you do, if possible. You want one way or the other. Obviously, the Nike swoosh doesn't say what Nike does, and there's many that don't really say. But in this particular case, it says DJ because we know what DJs are. My concern with this is that if a person was using this as their logo and you were kind of wanting to be a high-end wedding DJ, I don't think that this really would fit a high-end wedding DJ.
No, this is a party DJ. This is a bar DJ. Not a high-end wedding DJ.
And I even think, you mentioned the bar. I don't even know. You think of the competition that is now available or that's out there today for clubs and bars and such. I don't even know if this, and if somebody's using this, please forgive me, but for this 1990s graphic, and I know
it's very simplistic. There's not much style to it.
Yeah, and this is something that, again, for like a backyard party. If I'm a part-time, I want to do 2 parties in the summer. I grab the logo, throw it on a business card, print 50 cards up, and give them to my friends. I think that works for that situation. The number one rule that I could share with everybody here today: do not use all caps in script type fonts. All right. Which script type fonts are like, anything that's scripty, the loops and the waves like you would be doing handwriting.
Like calligraphy or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this certainly doesn't have this either because it's just has a normal Helvetica type font.
Yeah. That's the number one rule. If there's nothing else that I can give you today to take away, all caps on a script or Old English, listen, that's for a low rider, custom plate, on, low riders and their lettering on the back of their vehicles. They do a lot of that. It doesn't belong in a DJ or a professional situation. I mean, that's a cultural phenomenon that's found in that setting.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going to our next one here, our next example.
Yeah.
Now they've kind of stepped up and have a completely different design in some ways.
The thing with this one right here, because they laid it back, this isn't a picture of a logo that was laid down on a desk. That's the actual logo, and they're trying to be fancy by skewing it back in a 3D, and it loses its it really loses its readability. It's not so much the DJ and let's make some, what is it? I can't even see it now.
Yeah, let's make some noise.
Make some noise. It's not even that. It's the fact that you're losing it when you put it back like that. Now, when it's up, flat, straight, no 3D, you can see that that's a guy with some headphones around his neck, kind of like down like that.
Yes, and I didn't see that. When I looked at it the first time, I thought that was some kind of an alien with its eyes, the alien eyes down in front. I didn't catch that those were headphones until about the third or fourth look at that car or that logo.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not what you're trying to do.
No,
you
not
want
so much.
Instant recognition. Because guess what? If you're advertising somewhere and you're among other logos, guess what? You're going to get skipped past. They're not even going to ask for a quote or anything. They're just going to like, nah, not for me.
See, now let's look at the DJ, DEEJY.
Yeah.
One of the
It
trends
looks like
is
DJ.
yeah, there was the thing is the E's just don't stand out and scream E quite well enough. I don't feel for this application.
Now, if that's for a flyer for a rave, hey, looks cool. But if you're in the business to try to sell wedding clients or even a school, it just doesn't fly. It just, if you're in a bar, yeah, you can make a cool flyer out of that, but I still wouldn't dip it back like that in 3D. It just loses a lot.
For sure.
You want to move on to the next one?
For sure. Let's talk just for a second. I noticed in this particular one, there's a lot of lowercase. I mean, it's all lowercase in this particular. This is an area in which we've seen this trend coming up time and time again. And I know Lori just completely cringes because she comes from the newspaper layout world where no, you can't be doing upper and lowercase. Well, or as far as just strictly lowercase, or because that's just not the appropriate way.
It's a style thing that has jumped in and out from the mostly came out in the 60s and 70s, and then it went away for a while, and then it's back again. I think it adds a design element in certain situations.
Mm-hmm.
It all depends. I mean, it really depends. It could look better with one name versus another name. It doesn't even matter what letters you're using, because certain letters look cool. Y's are really hard to do anything with. Anytime you're using like any letter that has like a hangout, like a P. All right, say you have an A on one side and a P on the other.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it starts with an A, ends with a P. It never looks balanced because the P is up in the top, and it looks like it's always leaning the wrong. It's not lining up.
Yeah,
exactly right. Versus an A and a B or a D and a B. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. on the ends. It's just the way it is. It's just visual. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and I think if the font used in this particular case, because it is kind of more of a laid back card style, what have you, that the lowercase definitely works. It's just that the font and such probably is the weakest part of this particular, and that's again with the headphones that I didn't understand what they were. It looks like an alien. It looks like something that you'd be catching if you're playing Pokemon Go. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it needs a couple of little antennas coming out.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the next one, we're going to Scratch.
Now, if you're a hip-hop DJ, if you're a hip-hop club DJ, if you're doing anything, mixing beats, juggling beats, selling mixtapes, perfect.
Yeah, this fits that to a T.
Mm-hmm.
But
if you're trying to sell wedding clients, no.
Yeah, probably not, unless you had gotten to such a high level that people are coming because they want your club experience at their weddings, and you have branded yourself to that level. For the average DJ just starting out, probably not.
Yeah, and I used to be a graffiti writer back in the day. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it serves a purpose for the person that wants that type of look, but it has no business in a wedding. Unless you are like some, Las Vegas heavy hitter club DJ, and they just, you're going to be doing Paris Hilton's wedding or something like that. You know what I mean? It just doesn't fit for everyday Joe.
For DJs who know, Jason Janai is probably one of the few DJs who could probably have a branding at that type of level, even though he doesn't do this type of branding with his show. But he has achieved that and has that, is known for what he's doing. But most of us can't. it's the little subtitle. You have Scratch the Ultimate DJ. My only concern with the Ultimate DJ side of it is that might get so small on a business card, unless that took up the whole business card side. That's a really small font in comparison to the actual logo, and that becomes an issue when you're doing colors. You're doing multiple colors, and you're doing color runs and such. If you're doing a digital printing, is one thing, but if you're doing an ink printing, sometimes those small letters bleed, and they get lost because the plates or the things aren't lined up properly. And then people are like, well, why doesn't it? I can't read this. Well, that's why.
Do you remember the old, what do you call it, the textured ink business card? Oh, yeah, those are murder.
Those are fun.
Those are murder.
Okay.
We always, it didn't work for little tiny font.
That or they had the foil where you could run a piece of paper through the printer, on your laser printer, and then you could put the piece of foil on and run through again. And a second time, the heat from that would transfer the foil to your paper where the text was. So all of a sudden, your text was this metallic looking. It was really cool until you put the paper in wrong, and then that foil stuck to the laser, and you were done. It stuck. Okay. Here's a common graphic that we've seen quite a bit, or variations thereof. What's your thoughts on that?
All right, it's overused. All right, everybody and their mother has used this piece of clip art. I don't know. It kind of reminds. You remember Popeye, Alice the Gnome? All right, it's just like, to me, I'm showing my age.
Yeah, you are. You really are.
But
no, I don't know what you're meaning. No, I have no idea.
All right. Well, anyways, it's very. I don't know. To me, I just don't like it. I never liked the piece. It's too sloppy.
So let's kind of go off this a little bit. Now, a lot of people have used caricatures, and there are different digital products. I mean, I think I can actually take my phone now and take a picture of myself, and there's some sort of a filter that will make me look like a caricature, probably make me look a lot better than I actually am. Now, what are your thoughts on caricatures being used for either on business cards or promotional purposes?
It all depends on what you're doing and how good the artwork comes out. All right. In some cases, I mean, I think it can work. It all depends on what the end product looks like. And some things are a little too simplistic, and sometimes they're fine. It depends on the end product. Yeah,
I guess that would go. And again, I think there's going to be times where if you're a formal wedding DJ, that a caricature is probably not going to reach the client that you're after. But a bar DJ might have a situation where that would fit in very, very well. It depends on which client and what kind of clientele you're shooting for.
Now, I'll tell you what, if it's a caricature of a bride and groom and it looks halfway decent, that's not a bad piece of artwork to use. But, the whole thing with the turntable, first of all, that's the left hand. It wouldn't even be on that side of the record.
Now you're getting fussy.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's ode to MJ right there.
Yeah,
because he'd say the same thing.
He'd be like, "That's not a real DJ."
No.
I bet he's running Mega Seg on the other side of that picture. Yeah, I hear you. I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on here. Wedding DJ Melbourne. Let's see if I can back this out just a little bit. I think I got a little bit too. There's a couple of design elements in this one that are a little bit different. So let's first off, let's talk about the colors that they chose for this one.
The red and black, it stands out. I guess the biggest problem I have with this is, for one, are you a turntablist? You're showing two turntables. If you're not a turntablist, all right, you're using just a laptop with maybe a little controller, or and you're basically selling something that you're not offering for real.
Yeah,
you're overselling, and And it's like, well, do you use turntables? Well, no, I don't. You know. The other thing is this guy in like college doing a frat party?
That's what I was kind of wondering. I'm looking at his attire thinking, okay, is this a bad bowling shirt that has, the printed tie in the front? Or is this a polo and tie? Is this a... Because I don't know if ties are supposed to be that short. I think that's I thought the rule of the tie had to go, down a little farther than that.
To the belly button, the buckle.
Yeah, to the belt buckle.
Supposed to, yeah. Yeah, so this screams like frat party to me.
Yeah, it really does.
And although I do like having, where they replace the dot and a J, which ironic, that would actually be a lowercase J if you're going to put a dot on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but it was cutesy, adding that as a little red square. And everything else, it's okay. If I was going to do that, first of all, I'd change that to look a little more like a real shirt, real dress shirt. Bring the pant line up a little higher. And then what I do to pull it all together is I'd probably create like a circle around her or even a half dome, extending from the W over to the J.
Sure, to just kind of keep it, to bring the eye back around in essence.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The color red, I've seen it used well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really liking it in this case. Brandon does a really good job. I mean, he's a good up-and-coming young guy, great DJ. And he uses a red logo.
Yep.
And I actually like it. It's a script logo, and a script actually done right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I definitely like the work that he did. And I checked out his website. It looks really, really nice. So if you get a chance, go check out Brandon. What's Brandon's last name?
Havrilla.
Okay, Brandon
He's
Havrilla.
one of our DJNTV crew here that'll be doing some of the shows. Which, hey, as long as we've got that little segue, we've got, of course, a new schedule of shows. If you go out to DJNTV, the Facebook page, you're going to see the pin to the top the new schedule of shows that'll be hitting. There's a few shows that we haven't put them into their slots yet. Rob Frey, DJ Kilma are going to be doing weekly shows, and they probably next week they'll be starting. I believe we may get them yet this week. And then, of course, Brandon and DJ Barr and a few others are going to be doing some shows that will be dropped in occasionally, like every couple of weeks or so. That's all out there again at facebook.com/DJNTV. You can find those links. So
yeah, always check into the YouTube.
Yeah,
to make sure there's something you're not missing.
Yeah, Brandon says not to go out to his website. Give him another week, and then he'll be ready.
Oh,
to go.
okay. But he did a really good job with it.
Yeah,
I was very surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised.
Think of Jimmy, if you would have been, if you would have been that sharp and that focused like he is at his age. I mean, if you were when his age, think of how many great things we would have done.
Yeah.
At his age, I wasn't focused on that kind of stuff.
We'd be doing like $100,000 weddings over in Hollywood.
Yeah. Instead we have this great this learning. We have done the School of Hard Knocks for so many years because we had to learn the hard way.
Like the song says, it's the hard knock life for us.
Yeah, there you are. Okay, let's continue on here. Our next one is.
Now that is great.
There we go. Jack Star Weddings.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to drive a bride to you. Now, the big thing is with this, I'd use a little more contrast here and there, and I definitely would use this with a photo with it. I think on its own, it doesn't sell it completely. But if you have above it a photo with, a crowd dancing, oh yeah, total winner.
I think the photo that would go well with this is the wedding party and a bride on the dance floor having a great time, and that we've all seen that photo where they're like taking it from behind the DJ and the DJ's up there, that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
that would fit because this gives you kind of the simple yet elegant yet kind of whimsical and fun with the heart on the W and the star on it. So you're like, oh yeah, it fits for a wedding DJ.
It's the Goldilocks logo.
The Goldilocks logo.
It's just right.
Yeah, this is not too that. Oh, funny.
Yep, I like it. It works.
And you'll notice that there's a little bit different red, where this red is different than this red. Yeah,
there's more blue in it.
In this one.
Yeah, if you're mixing this has. This is, everybody that works in graphics, there's 255, right?
Yeah, 255.
Most of the sliders are 255. And what this would be 255 red and maybe a little bit of like 30 green and then 60 blue. So it brings it into that pink.
Yeah.
It's almost like a little bit of a heavy pink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely fits.
And I know you're going to like green. Well, the green balances out the blue and brings the it's not like paint where you use black to darken it. It's you're dealing with light. And when you're mixing with light, the green and the red together make yellow, and then you add blue, and guess what? You have white. RGB makes white, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tim mentions in the chat room that this doesn't really look like a DJ logo, and I think that's definitely see that it's not a DJ logo. Hence why, if you're using this, you'd have to have it as in conjunction with something that definitely says the Fun Party DJ. They could do Jack Star and then maybe under the wedding could have done entertainment. That would have gotten you close. But the simplicity of the logo or what they have here added to a picture, well, then you eliminate the need for the word entertainment.
Exactly.
And I don't even know if you'd want to put DJ in something like this, because if you
do, it dirties it up. It takes away its
really
credibility
does.
And
and you've gotten such a nice clean look there, and again, it could be Jack Star weddings, and they could do photo booths, everything with just a little tweak of that of what they've got there. So nice. Okay, let's continue on. The next one we have, let's see how that one's looked. DJ Jer event and lighting design. I don't know who this guy is. He's probably
he's a troublemaker.
Probably some fly-by-night guy.
Yeah, I know. Probably just started last week.
There we go.
Bought a controller for, a couple $100 over at Best Buy.
He probably was catching the Radio Shacks as they were closing out. I
like it. It's very simplistic as far as really, your eye doesn't have to work really hard to figure out what's going on. And it's bold. It's bold, and I like it. It's probably going to be hard for people to see because I grabbed it, and it's a PNG. How are you seeing it, John?
It's white on a light gray. So we can see it. I mean, it's not the greatest image for...
Yeah,
but you can,
it's a PNG. It's a PNG file. And in case you don't know the difference between a JPEG and a PNG, usually PNG has what we call alpha key. So like when you pull it into your website or wherever you're going to use it, it's like a cutout. It's like a paper cutout. There's no background on it. It just is the logo, so it can go over many things, and it just works that way. It's designed to be a cutout.
And for those of you who do not know Jer, this is Jeremy Breck, our Wednesday night with Dave and Jer. This is his company that we're looking at his logo. And it's interesting to me is Jeremy has the same situation that a lot of us had when he first started out, is that we became known as DJ John, DJ Jimmy, whatever, because that's just what people were referring to us as back in the day. And he's been in it now long enough where he would prefer not to be DJ Jer anymore, as he's gone and doing different things, but that's what people know him as. So he has to still embrace the DJ Jer, but he's able to add, I mean, now you look at that, you know that he's a DJ. You know who it is. It's Jer. And then, of course, there's also the event and lighting design. So really, in this little logo, it covers the bases very, very well. And
Exactly.
But it is a serif font he's using with his DJ. I mean, he's using a serif font all the way across the board on this.
Well, he's combining, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
He's using a serif font. He's using a script font. And... let's see. I can't really see the other one. It's a serif font also, the
Correct.
same
Yes.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a variation of times. It's not times, but yeah, it's a and that can be a problem. I mean, that's why you guys are struggling to see it white on a light gray. If it would be a sans serif font, you would see it a little bit. But then again, there's a part of serif fonts that look kind of elegant, so it's a toss up on how that all comes together.
Oh yeah, if you take a times and make it really, really like wide and then space them out in between and then use a line above and a line below going across, and you could put some like filigree or some scroll work on it, man, you can make some really nice looks.
For sure. All right, let's keep going here. I got to see how big this is. CNT Entertainment.
Now, I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah,
but there's a certain word that comes to mind,
and
maybe it's just my dirty mind or something. But yeah, I would not for me. All right, not for me. It's too subliminal. What that bad word that you should never, ever, ever, ever use.
It could, could definitely be mistaken for. I think let's say if it was Cliff and Travis, if it's their DJ company, I think this is one of the times I would use that Shift 7 and sign.
Yeah, exactly.
And go that. Now, I'm sure I would guess.
Actually, you could use a script. You could use a script AND in lowercase.
Yeah.
Or in uppercase on the A, lowercase on the ND.
And that would definitely change the look and such.
Yeah, it just doesn't fly with me. I mean, I don't, Yeah,
the potential for someone when they're drunk to come in and because that's one time they will do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the red and black, I'm a fan of red and black. That's kind of a thing I like. And the way they used some highlighting is kind of interesting, but it doesn't seem to. It's not like there's a one source of the light source from behind that's kind of glaring through. It seems that there's kind of like it's
blobby to me.
Yeah, that's I'm just.
It looks like you took the original logo and put down something below it and squished it out.
Yeah, it has a unusual look. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And then of course we have a 3D. The entertainment is in a 3D font. It's in a serif font. It's a 3D look to it. So now you've not only got those thin letters and thin spots in the letters. Now you're trying to make them a beveled look that really makes that entertainment.
It's getting lost.
Yeah, really.
It's totally getting lost.
Okay, let's keep going. We got to hustle on. We've got a few here.
All right, zoom that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on that.
That's nice corporate. That's a nice corporate look. It's one of my favorite things is to combine a script with all caps below it and spread the smaller font below out.
Sure.
It's one of my favorite looks to use. I like this. This is good corporate branding. It's nice and clean, even
Yeah.
though, you know, some people are going to say, oh, what's, you know, the CE, it's CE.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's stylish because even if you can't figure out what the CE is up in the circle, it says it right below.
Yeah, yep. So it kind of ties it together. Yeah, nice look there.
Yeah.
Okay, next we got Epic Events.
Yeah. Now, this is this harkens back to that little bit of a graffiti style.
Yeah.
All right. But I'm looking at it as more of an entertainer versus like more of a club jock, or, you know, somebody that does, you know, street festivals. That doesn't scream wedding to me.
No,
but
it certainly doesn't.
But if they have a good name for themselves and they're already known, yeah, I could see that working. You know.
So one design element that this one has that it's utilizing in some spots, but not in only one spot, is that white outline around Epic. It seems that I'm guessing they used the white because they wanted that to stand out more. But it seems to me that it almost doesn't feel like it's in the right place because nothing else has got a white stroke or white border around the letters.
They're also using a cast shadow beyond the white. So they're trying to make it look 3D, like it's lifting off the page.
And nothing else has the shadow either. So that also that makes that stand out as a different.
Yeah, this. I mean, Epic. I know there's Epic Records, but Epic in this use kind of looks like a hip hop recording label.
Sure.
You know, a producer or something like that. It doesn't talk wedding DJ to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep going. Yeah, we need to keep moving here. We got, I think, 4 left. I want to make sure we hit. Edmonton.
There's that logo again.
There's that little guy. But now this one, you know, he's using his right hand, so they've flip-flopped the...
yeah, I guess so.
So, you know, they got that.
No tone arm. Where's the tone arm?
Shh. Don't need those. That's the new control, the new tables.
Okay. Oh, he's already got the 12s?
Yes, he has the 12s.
He already has the Rain 12.
Yeah.
How did he beat us to it?
Yeah,
man?
he's got that already.
He must have the hookup.
Very dated. I mean, this is something that we'd have done in 1990, and it was just kind of the way it was back then.
Raised letter business card.
Yep, precisely, and that's probably
now this is very elegant and very corporate.
Yeah, very clean.
Yeah, this would be from what I consider a DJ business that's probably doing $500,000 a year. All right, I think this would be like a multi-op.
Sure.
All right, with a corporate image, and if it's just a single op, hey, awesome, great job. The name, I think I'm wanting for something a little more than complete, but it's making the C. So
yeah, and this is
not just a circle.
This is a company that has been around for a while, and they've rebranded themselves a couple of times. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I like the C, and I like how they made it look like it's a. It's also a play, you know, like a play button, like on YouTube with the arrow.
Yep, I could see.
And it's got a bunch of different things going on.
Yeah, I see. And I looked at it as a little bit of a black tie in there. So
yeah, well, that's where predominantly, but you got another thing. This, it's clip art. It's nice clip art. If you're a beach DJ, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. If you're somebody that is, I do barbecues and this and that, and, you know, street festivals, and, you know, I like to play oldies music. Yeah. 70s music. Yeah. I'm not doing weddings.
Yeah, not so much. That's not a wedding. Now, if they put the son in a tuxedo, then they could do weddings.
There you go.
And our last one, I'm going to zoom in this one a little bit.
Very nice corporate. Very, very nice. Well done. Well executed. I like the use of color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell right from that that's a P and a P, even though it's reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it is a little style dating. I mean, that screams late 90s to me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it screams 90s, but it's well done. It also harkens to Dick Clark Productions.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. It had that kind of look to it too.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's good. Can it be better? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So.
I think the round logos like that are to a point are dated, and that that time is come and gone. And it, not that they can't be used, but there's so much more. That
It's ABBA. It's very ABBA.
Yeah, it was very. I was thinking it's very 70s. 70s.
Yeah. Definitely.
Let's see. I want to go back to this camera, and then I want to go.
There we go.
Go switch this shot. Oop, I've hit it too many times here. So that will pretty much wrap up our show for tonight. We have our second show. You can go out to either the DJNTV Facebook page. You'll find a link there. And we'll be coming back with our live chat show in just a few minutes yet tonight. Jimmy, thank you for coming on and sharing some thoughts and such when it comes to design elements for our logos and business cards.
Mm-hmm. If anybody has any questions, you can hit me up on Facebook. I'm easy to find. James M. DePalma. All right. James M. DePalma. You can reach me on Facebook.
That sounds great, Jimmy. We will catch you later. And gang, we'll be back in about 10 minutes with our second show tonight.
Awesome. Later, guys.